Well, hello everyone. Welcome to P.B.M. Vending. The Perfect Storm. Well, that was a movie a few years ago. And usually when you talk about the perfect storm, you're talking about everything happening at just the right time to create a cataclysmic storm. And the perfect storm I want to talk about is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But when I explain to you how this all happened, you're going to go, wow. Okay, so we are in business to do vending. And like any business, in order to do business, you have to have inventory, unless you're in a service business. And our inventory is machines and candy, right? Okay. So I had a few weeks ago, I had a rush on machines because my placement company, I had lost some accounts and they were replacing them, and for whatever reasons, I didn't have any single head machines, which is my original placement, and then I take triple heads out if they're good. Now, I should back up and say that was my original plan. When we decided to change our game plan, I was going to go for the Vendstar 3000 machines, which I don't like the idea, but decided that because I had to pay for placement company, that would be a cheaper way to go, and they would probably generate more cash initially, but cost me in the long run. And we knew that. I did videos on that. But as we've gone along, we've still maintained our inventory of machines until recently. And I was getting a little concerned. Now, back up just a little bit. I have done several videos during the lockdown saying that every day we should do one thing to build our business during the lockdown, so that when we come out of lockdown, we can sprint out instead of being hindered. So anyway, so I have this shortage of machines. So I decided I better try to find me some used machines, because I wanted to save as much money as I could. Since we're not bringing any in, I wanted to save as much money as I could so that when we come out, I can resume buying some new machines. And because it had taken so long, we had a little bit of cash saved. So a little over a month or so ago, I come across a guy in Southern Illinois who had 5 triple head machines, nice machines, for $100 a piece. And so we worked out a deal, and he was going to drive them up here, but he didn't have the keys. And so anyway, one thing led to another, and hopefully I'll be getting those in a week or so. So in the process of time and negotiations, a couple of things I learned. Number one, we are going to get 5 machines for $400, and he's going to drive them up here for me. And here's the key part, he's a pastor, an associate pastor at a church, Assemblies of God Church, which is where I have my credentials. And I had no idea, but he did the research on me, and so we started chatting. Now, here's the interesting thing. I never met this guy. In fact, I think I mentioned him in another video. I never met this guy, don't know anything about him, but I liked him. and I would have paid him the full $500. I was rooting for him to find the keys. But anyway, he volunteered to do these things, and I said great. And so hopefully we'll be getting 5 triple head machines delivered here for $400. That's a pretty good deal. So in the process of negotiating back and forth with him, it was taking a long time. I mean, it's been a month and a half now. So I kept looking, and I saw on the internet that this person had a triple head for $65. And so I contacted him, and I said, what kind of machine is that? Is that a Vinstar 3000? And he said, yes, it is. And I thought, crud. And I just, out of curiosity, I said, so how many of these do you have? And he said, 16. And I was like, oh, okay. You got my attention. Problem is, he was in Evansville, Indiana, which is about 4 hours away from where I'm at. So we negotiated, and I got, it's got all the keys and the locks, but of course with Vinstar 3000, he had 5 machines that had the flaps gone. I know nothing about replacing those flaps, how much they are, but the whole machine, how much can they cost? $5? So anyway, so we negotiated back and forth, and so I was looking for a way to get to Evansville to get these. Now I can't personally go because of my schedule. There's just no possible way that can happen. And I offered it to some friends of mine. Nobody was interested. So I called up the person that I was originally going to do this business with, and she said, well, I'll do it. I was going to do this weekend for money, but this is guaranteed money. I'll do this. She's a pastor, by the way. So I thought about it, and I thought, okay, I may be a male chauvinist pig, okay, and I fully accept that. So I have an issue sending a female to go pick up machines from somebody I met on the internet. So I decided to research this guy that I bought them from. Well, guess what I found out? His wife is a pastor of a church. So we're going to get 16 triple head Vinstar 3000s for $50 a piece, and of that 16, 5 of them are only going to cost $45. So $775, we're going to have 16 machines. And you say, well, and we're going to have to rent a truck and go get them and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And you say, so where's the wow? Okay, I want you to think about this. Whenever God is involved, there are no losers. Everybody wins. The pastor down south is getting rid of his machines. The pastor in Indiana is getting rid of his machines. And they're both going to sell their machines to this pastor, all for the purpose of building the kingdom. The pastor in Indiana is going to get rid of all of his machines. He's not going to have to fool with it anymore. And he's going to get $700-800. The pastor down south is going to get rid of his, and he's not going to have to fool with his anymore, for $400. And this pastor is going to have a year's worth of machines for what I would normally have spent on probably 7 single head machines, new ones, delivered to my home. Wow. I mean, that's wow. And that's all in 1 month. Now here's the interesting thing. As I have told you many times, our budget every month is $420 a month in our ministry. Now we haven't spent any money. We've been locked up for 3 months, so there should have been $1,200 in that jar. So today I went and I took out $775 for him, for the pastor in Indiana. I took out $150 for the pastor to drive over and get them. And I counted what was left. There's enough to pay the pastor down south, and I've still got a couple hundred left over. Where that money came from, I have no idea. So once again, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Everybody wins. There are no losers here. That tells me God is involved. Now, the only issue I'm having, and I'm having a lot of anxiety about it, is I live in a little 2-bedroom apartment. Where in the world am I going to put 23 triple head machines? I've already got 8 triple heads, a double, and 3 abandoned machines in this room. I don't know where I'm going to put 23 more machines. But God is providing, and all is well. We got plenty of money to handle it. We've got the transportation worked out. We've got everything is provided for, and everybody involved wins. The perfect storm. Wow. Think about that. You guys have a great week, and happy vending!